Welcome back to the video. Here in this video, we will discuss about the remaining activities. Now coming to the activity 7. This activity 7 is very important. In this diagram is important, and the question, this activity also they may ask you for 4 marks. So sometimes they may ask you draw a figure of acid solution in water conducting electricity, or activity wise means perform an activity to investigate whether all compounds containing hydrogen are acids or not, or otherwise sometimes explain a test to know whether the acid or base is strong or weak. So they may ask you the same activity in different ways. So for this you have to take 100 ml of beaker, and you have to prepare different kinds of solution, acidic solutions, basic solutions, and in that some glucose solutions and alcohol solutions, like that also. And in the 100 ml of beaker you have to take two graphite rods, and these rods you have to connect with the different colored electric wires. So these graphite rods, from this you have to connect to different colored wires to AC plug and bulb, like you have to complete the circuit. And first you take dilute hydrochloric acid solution in the beaker, and find out whether the bulb is glowing or not. If a bulb glows means the solution contains ion H plus ion, because HCl means it contains the solution, it dissociates or splits into ions. So HCl splits into H plus and Cl minus. When a solution contains H plus ions, then it is an acid or acidic solution. So HCl is an acid. Now take glucose water and find out the same procedure, and find out whether the bulb is glowing or not. If bulb glows, then it contains ions, but in the sugar water or the alcohol solution, bulb does not glow, because the solution does not contain any ions, or dissociation does not take or do not takes place. And next, take do for different solutions, and each time find out the bulb is glowing or not. If bulb glows, it contains ions. If you take an acid, it should contain H plus ions. If you take base, it should contain OH minus ions. If the bulb does not glow, then it does not contain any kind of ions. Okay, now activity 8. So here activity 8 means do acids produce ions only in aqueous solution? Here the ions, whether H plus or OH minus ions, these ions produce only in the aqueous solution. For this we have one activity. Take a test tube and take a sodium chloride salt and add sulfuric acid solution. When you add this, immediately a gas liberates. When gas is liberate, you take litmus papers, dry and wet blue colored litmus paper, and place it at the near the fumes when the gas is liberating. Then find out which litmus paper changes color, blue to red. So here in this case, wet litmus paper changes its color, but dry litmus paper, there is no change in the color. So from this activity we came to know that acids produce ions only in the aqueous solution, because wet litmus paper color changes, but dry litmus paper there is no change in the color. Why? Because in the wet litmus paper, the in presence of water, that litmus paper contains water. In presence of water, dissociation of ions, dissociation takes, means ions are splitting. It splits into ions. Absence of dry litmus paper, in that there is no water, absence of water, dissociation do not occur. Next point, bases which are soluble in water are known as alkalis. Now activity 9. See, in activity 9, what do you observe when water is mixed with acid or bases? Acid or base. Here in this activity, will confuse sometimes, not we. Sometimes we may get confusion that first we should add water to acid or acid to water. First, the process of dissolving an acid or a base in water is an exothermic reaction. When you mix either acid or base in water, it produces heat. So it is an exothermic reaction. Due to this reaction, always we should add acid to more quantity of water only. We should not mix water to an acid. And when you are adding acid or base to water, continuously we must stir it, because it is an exothermic reaction. So heat may liberate, and sometimes may that there is a breakage in the beaker or the vessel. So to avoid this, always you have to stir while you are mixing this. When you mix an acid or base with water, there is a decrease in the concentration of the ions of H3O plus or OH minus ions per unit volume. So this process is known as dilution. This process is known as dilution. Activity 9. Sometimes they may ask you to draw a figure. Warning sign displayed on containers containing concentrated acids and bases. That figure is one important for 1 mark. And this activity also for short answers, it is important. Next. Now coming to the activity 10. Activities 10. So we have to find out in activity 10 the strength of acids and bases. By using the universal indicator, you can find out whether the given solution is a weak acid, strong acid, or weak base or strong base. How you will find out this universal indicator depends on by using this universal indicator, acids means pH should be less than 1 to 6 comes under, or less than 7 comes under acid, and exactly 7 is salts, and more than 7 to 14 is base. And this pH scale depends on the concentration of H3O plus ions or OH minus ions produced in solutions. If more ions are produced in a solution, then it comes under a strong acid or strong base. If less number of ions are produced, then the solution comes under weak acid or weak base. Like that, we can find out the strength of acids by using a universal indicator. Next, importance of pH in everyday life. pH values. Living organisms have narrow range of pH values. First, coming to there are different activities are given in our textbook based on the importance of pH in our daily life. First, for plants and animals, it should be coming to this point, the pH of rainwater should be less than 5.6. Actually, when the pH of rainwater is less than 5.6, then it will call it as acid rain. Due to the acidic nature of this water, there is a difficult, if that water flows through the rivers and streams and all water bodies, there is a difficulty for the survival of aquatic animals like fishes and all, and it is very difficult. Next, tooth decay. pH of tooth decay. When it causes the tooth decay start when the pH of the mouth is lower than 5.5. When it is lower than 5.5, then it comes under the acidic nature. So actually our teeth has an enamel and made of the strongest substance, and the hardest substance is calcium phosphate. Actually, it does not dissolve in water, but it is corroded when the pH value is below 5.5. And coming to the third, pH in our digestive system. Our stomach also, it produces hydrochloric acid to digest the food. And sometimes what happens, it releases excess of an acid. Due to this reason, we have the burning sensation in our stomach. For the during the indigestion the stomach produces too much acid, so this causes pain and irritation. So to get rid of this pain, we have to use tablets. So the tablets made up of bases, because excess of acid when react with the base, then it becomes neutral. So the tablets contains either magnesium hydroxide, we'll call it as milk of magnesia, and it contains mild base or antacid tablet also. Next, pH of soil. So this also, by using the pH soil, the farmer would select the field whether it fields with quicklime or calcium carbonate. Next, coming to the self defense by animals and plants through chemical warfare. So this is about the pH values. Now coming to the salts. When we'll get salts, when an acid combines with the base, it produces salt and water. So here the combination of acids and bases are 4 combinations. We have the strong acid, weak acid, strong base and weak base. Due to this reason, we get different kinds of salts. For example, if we take a strong acid and a strong base, when the strong acid combines with the strong base, we get the neutral salt. And if a strong acid combines with a weak base, then the salt contains acidic nature and the pH value is less than 7. Next, when a weak acid combines with a strong base, then the salt contains basic nature and pH value is greater than 7. If both weak acid and weak base combines, we get the salt, and the strength of that salt depends on the the type of salt depends on the relative strength of acid and base. Just now we discussed about the different kinds of salts. For example, if you take sodium chloride, sodium sulfate, potassium chloride, ammonium sulfate, like these are the different kinds of salts. And if the salts having the same either positive or negative radicals or the ions belongs to the same family. For example, sodium chloride, potassium chloride, if you take Cl ions are same. So sodium chloride and potassium chloride belongs to the same family. So salts have different families based on their ions. Next, in all these salts, common salt is very famous, and this is the most common known salt. Why? Because it gives the taste to the food, and at the same time this common salt is used as a raw material for many chemicals. For example, sodium hydroxide, baking soda, washing soda, bleaching powder. In all this, the raw material used as a common salt. Now, how to prepare the sodium hydroxide from common salt? So when electricity is passed through an aqueous solution of the sodium chloride, aqueous solution of the sodium chloride solution is known as brine solution. It is important for 1 mark. So when electricity is passed through the brine solution, it decomposes and it forms sodium hydroxide, and this process is known as chloroalkali process. This is also very important question. What are the end products of the chloroalkali process? See, at cathode we can obtain hydrogen gas, and at anode we can get chlorine gas and sodium hydroxide. Hydrogen gas is used for the fuels, margarine, ammonia, preparation of ammonia for fertilizers. And cathode is chlorine gas is used water treatment, swimming pools, PVC, disinfectants and pesticides. And sodium hydroxide is used as degreasing metals, soaps, detergents, paper making, artificial fibers. When gases of hydrogen and chlorine combines, we get hydrochloric acid, and this use of hydrochloric acid is used in the cleaning steel, cleaning steel, and in the preparation of the ammonium chloride medicines and in cosmetics. Now we'll discuss about the preparation of the bleaching powder uses, baking soda preparation uses, and at the same time washing soda preparation and uses, plaster of Paris uses and preparation. First coming to the bleaching powder, here we get the chlorine gas in the chloroalkali process. This chlorine gas is used for the manufacture of bleaching powder. So, when chlorine gas is sent through dry slaked lime, and we can get the bleaching powder. So, what is the formula for the bleaching powder? Important question. CaOCl2. What is that? CaOCl2. And what are the uses? It is used in the bleaching of the cotton and linen textiles industry, and for the bleaching wood pulp and paper industry, and so on, and even in the clothes industry and laundry. And it is used as disinfecting drinking water to make it free of germs, and it is used as a reagent in the preparation of chloroform. Now coming to the baking soda. So what is the chemical name of baking soda? Chemical name of the compound, sodium hydrogen carbonate, NaHCO3, is known as baking soda, and it is a mild non-corrosive base. So this what are the uses? Preparation it is given in the textbook, just once you see. Next, what are the uses of this? It is it is used in the cooking purpose, and it acts as a mild antiseptic. Next, it is also used as a soda acid in fire extinguishers, and sometimes sodium hydrogen carbonate is also an ingredient in antacids. Next, coming to the washing soda. So, what is the formula for washing soda? And it is also known as sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate contains 10 water molecules, is known as washing soda. And what are the uses of this? It is used in glass, soap, and paper industries, and it is used in the manufacture of sodium compounds such as borax, and it is used in the removing permanent hardness of water. Next, coming to the water of crystallization. Here we discussed about this washing soda contains 10 water molecules. So when a compound contains fixed number of water molecules in one formula unit of salt, then we'll call it as water of crystallization. Once again I am repeating, important for this 2-3 times they asked for 4 marks, write about an activity of water of crystallization. So first, what is the definition? Fixed number of water molecules present in one formula unit of a salt is known as water of crystallization. For this you have to take a test tube and take copper sulfate solution in a dry test tube and heat it. Actually copper sulfate is in blue color. When you heat it, then slowly it changes into the white color, and you can observe the water droplets on the surface of the test tube. So when it contains and again if you add when it is colorless, when you add water, then again it regains its color. So from this you can see that the blue color of the copper sulfate solution, the blue color, when the crystals are moistened with water, the blue color reappears. Next, plaster of Paris. So this is very important, always used to ask this question. What are the uses of plaster of Paris, and preparation also? So gypsum at a 373 kelvins, it loses water molecules partially, and it becomes a calcium sulfate hemihydrate. So this is known as plaster of Paris. So this substance is used as uses fractured bones in the right position, and white powder, and on mixing with water it sets into very hard solid mass due to the formation of gypsum. So here two questions. Write the formula for the plaster of Paris, CaSO4 half H2O, and write the formula for chemical formula of gypsum, CaSO4 2H2O. And what are the uses? Just now I discussed. Next one is, in the water of crystallization, copper sulfate contains 5 water molecules, sodium carbonate contains 10 water molecules, and CaSO4, this is CaSO4 means gypsum, it contains 2 water molecules. So this is important in bits. So this is about the revision of lesson 3, acids, bases and salts. Thank you.